Hi, everyone. My name is Vanessa Cottrell, and my group members are Shyla, Mari, and Kaina. We want to bring awareness on a very important topic. Some of us either know someone or has experienced some of these issues themselves. The topic that we want to discuss is mental health issues. And we want to present ways to deal with these issues, especially for college students in particular, using different several types of peer-to-peer approaches. Next slide, please. I want to start this presentation with a quote from a therapist by the name of Lisa Oliveira. She said, just because no one else can hear or do your inner work for you doesn't mean you can, should, or need to do it alone, which is true. Next slide, please. Mental health issues can cover a wide range of disorders, but the areas that we plan to concentrate on are depression, anxiety, ADHD, which is attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, and suicidal ideation. Next slide. Mental health issues is an important topic that we feel doesn't get as much acknowledgement as it should. Mental health not only affects the person emotionally, psychologically, it affects their overall well-being. It can also affect how a person deals with certain situations and how they deal with stresses around them. It can also affect the people, like family and friends, that they have around them as well. College students in particular are already at risk of dealing with high pressures from their academic requirements, pressures from housing insecurities, maybe homelessness, or coming from poverty-stricken homes, improper nutrition, students, especially college students on a college budget is not, you're very strict on what you're putting in your mouth. So lack of other things is lack of social and familial support, lack of exercise, poor quality of sleep, and outgrowth of the effects of the recent COVID-19 pandemic. I know when I had COVID, quarantining was not easy, and having to isolate yourself was hard. And I can just imagine people that are dealing with mental health issues, it could just be even way harder to cope and find ways to deal with that on top of having COVID. But among other variables, the rates of depression, anxiety, anxiousness, suicidal ideation have increased nationwide. There was a global project done for university students among 19 universities in 8 countries. This study wanted to explore the prevalence of mental health disorders, and as a result of the study, it showed that at least 35% of the 13,000 students that participated suffered from some type of mental health issue. The results indicated that 18.5 to 21.2% of students suffered from a major depression disorder, followed by a generalized anxiety disorder of 16.7 to 18.6%. These studies were done on undergraduates, and research indicates that the students who experienced the most issues were freshman students. And this kind of makes sense because you're coming out of high school, going into this new journey, starting college, and you're already nervous about that. And then having, the mental health issues on top of it and trying to learn how to deal with that and deal with their whole college experiences is a challenge in itself. So these mental health issues, disorders, oftentimes are hidden or masked because the person either doesn't know who to talk to or how to deal with the problems. So if we can help university students by providing the various services or programs that is going to be mentioned, we can hopefully help reduce the stigmas that come with mental health issues. And I think Shyla, you guys.
Thank you, Vanessa. That was really informative, really good. As you pointed out, it's important that we destigmatize not only mental health concerns, but actually seeking out help for mental health concerns. An article posted in Psychology Today February 20th of 2019 states that, quote, "There's been a significant increase in students seeking mental health services, most commonly on their campuses," end quote. In this portion of our presentation, I will cover how our peer-to-peer approach model intends to market or display descriptive norms and what services we will offer, with the overall goal being to put a "you're not alone" or less authoritative face on students seeking help. We will aim to meet our campus community where they are at, and that is usually online. The entirety of the University of Hawaii campus system already utilizes social networking platforms like Instagram and Twitter. Due to their expansive and inexpensive nature, our peer-to-peer group outreach program intends to market this way as well. Platforms like Discord, Facebook Instant Messenger can also be a venue where interactive conversations can be had regarding our program's offerings. With permission from faculty, we could access student emails and share information about various events, meetings, pop-ups, or locations our volunteers will be on any given day at any given time. Again, staying in line with the University of Hawaii's methods of communication, and with permission, we can obtain students' phone numbers and text as well. A plus about the email and text campaigns is that there is always the component to opt out. This makes all of our communication, our proposed communications, voluntary on the student's behalf. Pardon me. The program will consist of student volunteers who, through digital and or face-to-face interaction, will uncover individual students' immediate needs and act as the go-between, coordinating them with the most accurate counseling, advising, faculty members, and department services. The University of Hawaii at Hilo already has a wide variety of services available to students, and sometimes simply pointing someone in the right direction can bring a world of relief to an already stressed out, hurting person. Our program intends to coordinate with community and locally available services as well. The use of social networking sites allow our group to cast a wider net and to potentially catch at-risk students who are shy or uncertain about seeking help. These services allow students to contact us at their convenience from their dorm rooms, their homes, etc., and even anonymously if they need to. Also, the grassroots movement of building momentum and word of mouth is how we will get the program out there onto the campus. Our peer-to-peer group will help to offer resources and suggestions for stress reduction techniques like mindfulness, breath work, or breathing techniques, local and even campus offered yoga classes, exercise programs, etc., and guided meditation. We will offer, and this is for lack of a better term right now, a buddy program where volunteer students are available for lunch, coffee, or just simply sitting and talking with the intention to address any needs that may arise, then potentially redirecting those students towards already aforementioned services available on the campus. The closed loop portion of this program will seek to retain students whom our program and intervention methods have already helped. We want to retain them as volunteers, encouraging those students to use their specific skill sets, hobbies, knowledge, and expertise to keep the chain of the peer-to-peer helping model going, hopefully long-term into the future. So next we have.
Hi, the reasons why these programs are so effective is because it gives people Social support, which is a key component in strong psychological health. Social support helps to foster positive feelings and close, caring relationships. Also, support from others can help a lot when someone is going through a bunch of different emotionally and mentally challenging things. There are different types of support someone can give to someone, such as emotional support, instrumental support, and informational support. This program will mainly focus on emotional support, but can also provide instrumental support, which is giving immediate help, as well as informational support by providing guidance and advice. There are lots of benefits to having social support. Those who are well supported emotionally are more likely to make healthy choices and behaviors, as well as cope with stress better and have an increase in motivation. For example, those who struggle with addiction are more likely to be able to quit that substance if they have support from others than if they're doing it alone. Social support can also improve one's self esteem, personal satisfaction, reduce stress, and increase caring feelings. It also improves physical and mental health. Those who have no social support are more likely to have higher risks for various physical and mental conditions, such as high blood pressure, heart disease, obesity, a weakened immune system, anxiety, depression, cognitive decline, and Alzheimer's disease. Many people who do not receive social support often tend to isolate themselves. Social isolation is a powerful predictor of poor mental and physical health. Meanwhile, social support has been shown to be protective. There was a study that was done that showed that those who isolated themselves tended to have higher levels of anxiety and depression, but when they were given social support, their anxiety was reduced, which shows that social support has a big impact. Next slide. Um, uh, the peer program is beneficial because it will be easier for those needing help to relate to the people that are helping them, since there will be mutual shared experiences and no authority figure or hierarchical system, which means it will be more of a reciprocal give and take. Additionally, it is more recovery focused and strength based. Having a program with one's peers helps to reduce mental health stigma or other barriers that are normally associated with mental health issues or emotional distress. It raises awareness for mental health and well being. The peer program will foster a culture of support for students' well being.
Okay, to conclude our presentation, I'm going to speak a little on our evaluation and how our peer-to-peer approach works. According to studies I've read, many students entering college already are dealing with mental health issues. So to stop this issue to appear, managing mental health in college is essential to have a successful and enjoyable experience. So how do we know mental health interventions and programs are working for college students? 1 in 3 college students coming to college with mental health issues because of the transition from high school to college can be difficult. In the beginning, many students were found that it was embarrassed to seek out for help and going through therapy or counseling at universities. So students shouldn't allow negative stigma surrounding therapy to stop them from seeking help when they need it. Studies also show that 7% of people who receive therapy benefit from showing up to therapy. So with that, students should know that it takes time for answers to appear or when going through therapy, because between the therapist and students, they're both learning towards each other. So what is student retention? Student retention is the process of keeping students enrolled in college. And student retention is influenced by a variety of social, cognitive, behavioral, and interpersonal factors. The diagnosis of depression is associated with and disconnected from the enrollment of college students. How many students came to the program? Through the peer-to-peer approach, many students have found through studies that Seeking help through friends first are more relative for them to go through therapy because they shared experience and their friends help them seek help. And after going through services, do students volunteer their time to help others going through what they want? So the benefits of school therapy make more connection with their therapists or counselors. They improve their self-esteem, increase their emotional and self-awareness. So mental health, to conclude, is to stop mental health in college. You share your experience, ask for help, and express your concerns to others.
Thank you so much. That concludes our presentation.